Hello YouTube, this is Jerry Gregg, and I just want to share with you 5 mental blocks. 5. You will not even begin or be able to start moving until you overcome these 5 mental blocks. It's time to change our minds. Let's go.
Yeah. Don't conform to the patterns of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Number 1, this is by far, the most important thing you have to overcome in order to even start moving to the path to financial freedom. If you can't overcome this number 1 thing, then you have to come to a realization that this life is not for you, because this life is hard. We all see the people financially free living in these mansions, going on vacations, doing whatever they want. And then we say to ourselves, man, it must be nice. But I'm telling you, behind the scenes, it is hard. A lot of blood, tears, and sweat, especially tears. But you have to overcome this one thing. If you can't overcome it, then just come to a realization and just come to terms. You know what? I'm cool with just working my 9 to 5. And that's not, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm cool with my family. I'm cool with working my 9 to 5. I'm cool with this life, you know, and it might, if you can't overcome this one thing, it might give you a sense of peace to say, you know what, this life is actually great. You know, it's, the grass is not greener on the other side, but, to me, I'm a lion, you know, a tiger, a bear. That life is not for me. It's just not. But you have to overcome this number one reason why. Or no, number 1 thing to overcome in order to even start your first step on the path to financial freedom. Yes. And the number 1 thing you have to overcome is to realize that you are lazy. You know, when I realized that, I was like, man, I am lazy. Like, what do I do with my spare time? You know, I come home from work. I go to the gym. May watch some anime. Shower, eat. Go to sleep. Because I work long hours. As a nurse, I'm working 13, 14 hours. So when I come home around like 8, 9 p.m. or 8, 9 a.m., I'm like, okay, I just want to eat, sleep, and just relax. You just want to relax, then you're lazy. If you just want to eat and sleep, and then you're lazy. Plain and simple. So we're going to do a curveball, because this number 1 topic, this number 1 reason, it deserves the whole video. So instead of 5 reasons, we're going to keep on continue with this number 1 reason. And the number 1 reason is that you're lazy. That's the number 1 reason. You may not feel like you are yet, but that's why when Paul says inside the Bible that with the renewing of your mind. Sorry guys, I was born with a stutter. Sorry, but not sorry. I'm proud of my stutter. With the renewing of your mind, then you can be transformed into a new person. You know, you have to realize you're lazy. You have to realize these things. God says to humble yourself. Once you humble yourself, then you could do extraordinary things. Extraordinary. So how do you realize that you are lazy? So how do you realize this? Once you come to these terms, and once you hurt your own feelings, you have to hurt your own feelings in order to overcome and then become. Because you can't have unless you are. You can't have unless you become. You have to be a different person. So once you say to yourself and hurt your own feelings, that I'm a lazy person, then you have to have a conversation with yourself. See, you got to do this all mentally inside your head. You got to have a mental conversation with yourself and say, then, okay, I'm lazy. So what do I do next? What do I do next now that I know that I'm lazy? You may sit there depressed and anxious, but get out of that. God tells us to not be anxious and or have any type of fear. All right, so you came to this realization that you are lazy. So now you take a deep breath, a deep mental breath, so you can get out your feelings. Because life is not about feelings. Nobody cares about you, how you feel. Even God doesn't. God tells us to walk by instruction and obedience, not by your feelings. Because if you walk by your feelings, you're going to do the wrong thing. Walk by instruction and by obedience. So you're getting out your feelings, you're depressed, you're sad, and all that good stuff. Who cares? You come to the realization. Then now the easiest thing that you have to do, it's easy but simple but so hard, is that you take a mental deep breath, and that's actually meditation. It's not sitting there going, That's not meditation. Meditation is taking a deep breath and stopping while you're thinking. Stopping while you're thinking and just clearing your mind out and taking the emotion out of it. That's meditation. So you took your deep mental breath. You're numb now. You're numb. You still have some feelings, but you're numb. So you have to do this one simple thing. It's simple, but it's hard. It's difficult. You just sit down and say, all right, I get home from work. It's all calculations now. Now it's all movement. I get home from work. What do I do? You say, I get home from work at 8 p.m. I usually go to bed at 11. What do I do from 8 to 11? That's it. Now you're not lazy now, because now you're thinking, what can I do when I'm off? 9 to 5 ain't going to cut it for the Lions, Tigers, and Bears, brothers and sisters. You know, we're Lions, Tigers, and Bears. The 9 to 5 won't cut it. What are you doing while you're off? Man, this thing nice, ain't it? It's about 30K. But I ain't pay that though. So now you came to this realization, right? So what do? So now you know when you're off. You know the time frame you're off. You know how much hours you have that you're when you're off. So what do? So what do you do now that you know you came to realize you're lazy and you don't do nothing with the time, with the hours you have when you're off? This is what you do. It's simple. You got to create more hours. If you can't you got to create an LLC or whatever. If it's a book that you wanted to write, if it's anything that comes to your heart. Mine is real estate. I got a book I'm writing now, but it won't be published until I hit my first $1 million. I'm not a millionaire net, but it's up here though. I am up here. I know I'm going to get there because I'm getting there. But you got to create more hours. You know, is sleep that important? Is sleep really that important? Studies show that's all you need is a good 4 or 3 hours of good REM sleep. You know, that REM sleep. That's all you need. So either go to bed 1 or 2 hours later, or wake up 1 or 2 hours earlier. That's why they said the rich, they wake up around like 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I sleep 6 hours when I work every other day. There's some days I don't even sleep. I'm up 48 hours straight. And you can ask my team that. And that's why my team loves me and I love them, because they know we're going to get it. So that's it, guys. There's much more to go. But due to the YouTube algorithm, I don't want to go over a certain amount of minutes. But hey, if you want to know more, comment. I'm about to start charging for coaching and for mental therapy while people are actually executing the 98% rule, because the 98% rule is going to have you lonely with a lot of questions. I created the 98% rule because it's productive and it's what the rich say to do. They just never named it a rule, but it's what they all say to do. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and then leave a comment if you want me to personally reach out to you. I'm here for you. God bless everybody. I love you. The lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my, we're gonna get it. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Don't conform to the patterns of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind.
It's time to change my mind. I gotta feed my brain. I'm tired of living life like he don't know my name, like he don't know my pain, like he ain't do the same, like he ain't walk the same
Steps in the Father's name.
Ridiculed, beaten and restricted, lifted off the ground on a tree. I ain't listening. My pride never listens. My brain's blowing pistons. Resistance, persistence, whatever. What is this? Malignant cancer thoughts flowing through my body, hitting all my organs like a close sold off shoddy. Look who's beside me. You better call your mans. You better call your people. You better call your clan. Life never goes.